This is a lovely story. We need lovely stories at the moment, don't we? Just 2 days ago, Australian swimmer Chloe McArdel swam the English Channel for the 35th time. 10 hours and 40 minutes. She broke the men's world record by swimming the roughly 35 kilometres between Dover in southeast England to northern France. Chloe comes to us live from Le Fleur, the local pub in Dover. It's the pub where all the Channel swimmers come from all around the world, I'm told, to record their place in history after a successful crossing. Chloe, look, I am thrilled to have you on the show tonight. Congratulations from all of us here in Australia on your record swims, but I've got to ask you, I can get wanting to swim it once. I love a bit of a swim myself, but why on earth, what motivated you 35 times?
Well, originally I just wanted to be an elite athlete and be the best in the world at one sport, and eventually I found marathon swimming. So that's what got me to the English Channel, because it's the mecca of open water swimming. It's where the best marathon swimmers historically have gone to test themselves and test Mother Nature and see if they can swim all the way to France. And I just kept coming back because it's such an incredible patch of water. There's so much geopolitical importance, historical importance to this area for swimmers and also internationally. And I fell in love with getting in, swimming in, and I literally, when I'm swimming the Channel, I'm weaving past cargo ships, tankers, because there's international shipping lanes, and the ferry route between France and England, which runs 24 hours a day. And anything can happen in the Channel. Waves can come out of nowhere that aren't predicted. Russian warships sometimes cruise through, or submarines, or the Coast Guard comes in and plucks out refugees. So every day is different in the English Channel. Every day is a challenge, and it's just about how can I challenge myself and work through whatever is getting thrown at me while I'm out there and get all the way to France, or sometimes back to England if I'm trying a double crossing.
Look, it's extraordinary. You make the point, and you're absolutely right. It's one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. All manner of stuff goes on. You're amongst it all. What sort of notice do you get that your swim's on the next day or the day after? Because I understand you've got to sort of judge all the conditions. And what sort of support crew do you have around you, and how cold is it?
So you don't get a set day to swim the English Channel in advance. It's very chaotic, and as an athlete, it's kind of hard to prepare for an event mentally and physically that you don't know when exactly it's going to be. And a case in point really is my last swim, that 35th Channel swim. I was supposed to go Sunday morning at 8 a.m. British time, but Saturday, the day before, at midday, my pilot is like, oh no, change of plan, there's terrible weather coming in, which is not uncommon for weather to change quickly in the English Channel. And he's like, there's going to be waves and you're not going to be able to swim through that Sunday afternoon. So what we need to do is bring your swim start forward to Saturday evening. And it was Saturday lunch, and I was like, I'm not ready for this. I was in London at the time. It was just very stressful, considering also the day before that the British government had just announced that people returning from France and a couple other EU countries, upon their return to Britain, they're going to need to self-isolate for 14 days. And that I'd just been dealing with the stress of, do I need to self-isolate if I swim to France tomorrow? And it took me 24 hours basically to get a response on that. So I was under a lot of stress, and yes, we often only find out when we're swimming the night before, but in that case, it was the day of, by the way, you're not swimming tomorrow, you're actually swimming tonight, so you better be ready to go. So that's kind of your first question. Yep.
I've got to ask you, you've beaten the men's record, right? Not often that we have a woman beating the men's record, but you did that. Congratulations. Couldn't be prouder of you. The other big record, of course, is the overall number of Channel swims. That's held by a woman. It's a British long-distance swimmer, Allison Streeter. That's 43 times. Now, I suspect it's a hell of a lot easier for her in terms of costs and everything else, given she's a Brit and you're not. But are you going to have a crack at her record? Is that something you want to do? And how do you fund all of this?
Allison Streeter is a massive role model to me. If I ever have the opportunity to go after her record, which I would love to do, then it would be a privilege to be able to do that and to stand next to her on the top of the English Channel list. She's 9 crossings ahead of me. I usually swim about 4 a year, so that it could be 2 or 3 years if I go down that path. It's a very expensive sport. I'm literally self-funded, so I run my own business to self-fund what I'm doing, and I do get some support for costs, but I'm still literally working a business on the side to pay for my costs. So I'm not funded or supported by Swimming Australia, and I'm not on a wage, so I'm not a professional athlete. So I work really hard, just like every other small business owner out there. I'm working year round. I virtually never take holidays, but it's okay because I love what I'm doing, and I love the ability that I have now to connect with people, everyday people, connect through TV screens, through radio, through social media, and inspire people and empower people.
Please give your small business a plug. Come on, you deserve it. I'm told you're from Melbourne, so is it a swimming school in Melbourne or something? What's your small business?
I do a few things, but what I really love is keynote speaking. It's where I go and speak into schools or businesses about some of the challenges of swimming the English Channel and being an athlete, and how I use psychology to work through those things, work through tough times, through uncertainty, and become more resilient and optimistic, which in this new world of COVID, when there's so much uncertainty and there's so much emotional struggle around this new world that we've all been thrown into, I think it's something that is something that is quite valuable, especially this time of the world.
Absolutely, and I'm sure everyone in Melbourne who's locked up at the moment is looking at you, and you are a model of resilience, because we all know how monotonous swimming can be at the best of times, let alone for 11 odd hours. Chloe, congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. All the very best.
Thanks for having me.
She's brilliant, and if you've got money in your pocket, you're a sponsor, you're a company that you want to get behind a great Australian, I'll put all the details on my Facebook page. Please get out and support her. Can you believe it? Self-funded.